Welcome to episode 5 of the Love Letters to Broadway podcast. My name is Michelle,
My name is Skylar.
and this is our podcast where we discuss all of our Broadway tips, tricks, advice, adventures, and give reviews on shows. So today's topic is going to be a review of & Juliet, which we just
Mhm.
saw this week, actually for the second time, which was really exciting. And we're also going to talk about some other lotteries that we're going to be entering, we want to enter, and just kind of discuss some things we've won recently. But we always start every podcast by talking about what are our hyperfixation songs for the week.
Yep.
So, Skylar, I'm handing it over to you.
Okay, so every week I feel like I hope things would change, but I've been obsessed with certain songs. I mean, it has a little difference, but it's kind of predictable. So
Mhm.
we start with the number three, actually, is Surface Pressure from A Whole New Sound. I've been
Oh,
obsessed. The Plain White Tees version, obsessed.
it's so good.
I actually played it this morning because I'm a teacher. So I was like, oh, sick. I could actually play this when the kids come in. I don't have to change my music. So I was listening to it nonstop today. Um, I love it. That was such a great idea.
I really like the whole album in general.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it's great. Um, Number two is I've been obsessed with The World Will Know from Newsies. Don't know why.
A
Don't
newsy
know
shout
why.
out.
Yeah, the first one. I feel like this song is so empowering. When I listen to it, I'm like on my feet and I'm like, yeah, the world will know. I'm like, I'm gonna do something about it.
Yeah, that one makes me feel really empowered, and also Once and For All always
Oh, I
gets
love
me.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I used
Especially when
to
it breaks it down. There's change
come
coming.
in that
Yeah.
part in particular when I used to see the show, like would make me sob. Like it was just
Oh,
the way it was
yeah.
also staged, like they were on like the 9 gradings or whatever the word is, and they were
Mhm.
like move forward towards the audience and like
Oh my
and
God.
because they were like levels up, like especially when you were in the mezzanine, it's like you
Yeah.
feel like they're coming in your face. And it was just
Yeah, that's
like,
really cool. No, that's really cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like resurfaced this week. And then my number one is Far Away from Tulsa from Outsiders, finally. I feel like I just replay when Brody sings like The Great Expectation. When him and when Ponyboy and Johnny go back and forth saying like what they will do once they
mhm.
get far away from Tulsa and then he goes into Great Expectations, I can't stop replaying it.
Yeah,
Like it makes
it's
me not only
beautiful.
emotional but like chills. Like hearing his voice like that, I would just kill to see it live. But
I know. I really wish we could go one time and see him. Like, we need to find out how to know in advance if he's gonna be
yeah,
on. Like, I think that's really our problem each time is that
yeah.
we don't know.
And I feel like there's
Although,
no way though.
yeah, I know we have. I don't really know. I mean, like, I know some people like just walk into the theater and like look at the sign, but it's like by then I want to know if we have tickets.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. But yeah. So those are my three songs. I've been jamming too.
So your list
Um,
changed like completely.
Mine?
Yeah, those were all new.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Outsiders is predictable. I'm shocked that Gadsby wasn't up there. I've been obsessed with Go. I don't know why.
Interesting. I really haven't listened to Gatsby since we saw it.
Mm. I only
Like
listen to
it
certain
fell
songs, like
off.
Past is catching up to me and Go. For some reason, I
Hmm.
just really like Go.
Yeah, it's a
But
good
yeah,
song.
those are my
So,
three.
so getting into my list, my songs have definitely changed up slightly.
Okay. I
So
can't wait
number,
to see what kids' music there is.
it's always something.
It's always
But
something.
actually, I don't know if we have one this week. So
Oh,
I'm sorry, I don't want to disappoint you. Number 3 on my list is a song that it's not a Broadway song.
Okay.
I heard it in the TV show on Netflix, Heartbreak High.
No, I haven't watched that.
You would love it.
Really?
It's about this group of Australian teenagers and there's a lot of like drama and mystery and like problem solving, but it's like I don't know, it's just so
Was it like
interesting.
Scooby-Doo?
No, nothing like that. It's more like Degrassi actually.
Oh,
Like it
that's
gives me those
cool.
kind of vibes. But the song in the show, Strawberry Kisses, that they play like at the end of like the last episode of season one by Nikki Webster. I don't know who she is. Like I'm assuming she's an Australian artist. But I heard that song and it sounds like your classic like early 2000s, late 90s like girl group pop vibes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I've been listening to that. Number two on my list is a throwback to last week, but a different song.
Wait, let me
It's
guess. Is it from Rogers the Musical?
yes, it is. So,
Iconic.
by the way, just speaking of Rogers the Musical, I made Skylar listen to it in its
Yep.
entirety this week.
And
Um,
I've been listening to Saves the City.
that's the song.
Oh,
That's number
sorry.
two. It's okay.
It's iconic.
But it's not the version from Rogers the Musical. The one I've been listening
Mhm.
to is the version, the other one I played from you, the one from the
Yeah.
Hawkeye TV show.
With all the Broadway stars.
Yeah, Adam Pascal, Derek Klena. That's a good
Beautiful.
version. That's
Beautiful.
iconic. And then my number one for the week, which is on theme, is It's My Life from and Juliet.
Oh, I love it. I love that song from the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's
seeing it
like
live, iconic.
I got chills during that number. But
Right?
and also what was his name? Ben Jackson Walker, who we saw as Romeo. He did such a good job this past week. I just like can't stop
There's like a
listening to
huge
it.
development. Like, because we saw him the first time we saw it, right?
Yeah, but you know,
But
last
something was
time
different.
like last time he didn't really make me laugh and like I just felt like I couldn't get into the song, but like this time it was
Huge,
just like he was perfect.
huge
Like,
character developments, I feel like.
yeah, you know, like a year makes a difference.
Yeah, it's wild to think about. But we'll get into
Um,
that.
yeah, we're gonna get into that later on, ladies and gentlemen. So,
But
yeah.
yeah, so we were talking, I mean, one of my songs was from this album, but
Mhm.
because you introduced me to this great thing that now I'm obsessed with, I figured we could also like rank our top, let's say top three songs from A Whole New Sound. Um,
Yeah.
just because it came out Friday and we both been loving it. So,
Yeah,
and then
and
we'd like to
also
hear your opinions too.
yeah, definitely. I would like to hear what everyone out there thinks. And
Yeah.
just to reiterate what it is again, so Disney
Yeah.
released a new album that's very similar to the like Disney Mania that they used to have,
Hmm.
but it's all Disney songs with like pop rock, like
Yeah.
metal-y type
Yeah,
artists.
they're like pop punk. And I would say it's like
Yeah.
if you ever listen to the Pop Goes Punk albums, it's like that, but Disney.
Yeah. So it's called A Whole New Sound. It's available now on like Spotify and iTunes. Highly recommend you go listen to
Yep.
it. And they have like some really good artists on there, like Skylar said earlier, the Plain White Tees, Magnolia Park,
We the Kings.
Simple Plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, some
Like
pretty big
just
names.
emo, pop punk, iconic bands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
You can go first if you're ready.
Okay. My top three. Should I go three, two, one again?
Yeah, I kind of like that. I feel like it builds up to like the big bang.
Okay. I think three is going to be You'll Be in My Heart
Oh,
by Boys Likes Girls.
oh, that's such a beautiful song.
Yeah, I
Great
love it.
choice.
I don't know if I ever told you, but I had to sing it. I was like, I went to a middle school slash high school, and when I was in ninth grade, they used to do these like fake graduation ceremonies for the eighth graders, even though you never really graduated. And they
Oh
made
my
me
God.
come when I was in ninth grade to perform it, like You'll Be in My Heart, for the eighth graders at their fake graduation
Oh my God.
ceremony.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was a little strange. They all were looking at me like, "Who are you?"
Who are you that just shows up? That's
Yeah.
funny. That's cool. But that's a cool memory. It kind of
Yeah.
shows why that song will always kind of be special.
Yeah, I've always really loved that song. And also Tarzan was one of my first Broadway shows I ever saw. So I feel like I've always
Oh,
felt
wow.
connected to it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Number two, I'm gonna go with Go the Distance, We the Kings.
Amazing.
So good.
Oh my God. I did not expect to love it that much.
Yeah, it's so catchy the way they remixed it, and but it's like still so moving. It's another like I don't know, it's a song I've always felt very like
Mhm.
connected to, and it's like empowering. I just always loved it.
We the
And
Kings,
then
though, iconic. They sing Check
hmm
Yes Juliet. Remember that song?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Check yes, Julia.
Iconic.
Um, and then number one shouldn't come to a surprise to you, but it's Eye to Eye, Magnolia Park.
Yeah.
I jam to that song. And when I mean jam, I jam.
Your head is flailing back and forth. It's like a
Yeah.
full-on performance.
Yeah. But
That's
I'll do that with
iconic.
the Goofy movie like version too, to be
Love a
honest.
Goofy movie. A Goofy movie I would love to dress up as for like Halloween.
Let's do it. Honestly, I'm so down for that.
Right? That'd be
I'll be
sick.
Goofy.
I did love Goofy growing up. I
Hmm
don't know. He
Goofy
was
and
iconic.
Max. And what was the
Oh,
girl's name?
oh my God.
Max's girlfriend. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
This is
Mm,
gonna bother me now.
we'll Google it. We need someone
I'm
to be like,
Googling.
we need a different person to just be our Googler when we forget things.
I know. We need a third. Hold on. Girlfriend, Max, Roxanne!
Oh, doy, doy. See, my brain went to, did you ever watch the Christmas, the Mickey's Twice or Once Upon a Christmas?
Hmm
And the, with him and Max, with Santa and the poor family. That's
Yeah.
my favorite story.
Wait, but there's that one, and then is that the same one where Max brings home a girlfriend?
No.
There's Once Upon a Christmas and Twice Upon a Christmas.
Twice Upon a Christmas, probably the girlfriend one.
That one pisses me off because he brings home a girlfriend from school and it's not Roxanne.
Peter.
Yeah, it's like,
Max.
why? What's with all the build up for Roxanne if you're not even gonna have her be the end game? And
I
she's
did
not
not
in,
know that. Did I watch
yeah,
that? I thought I
and she's
watched
not
it.
in Extremely Goofy movie either, I don't think.
Rude.
Yeah, they just
Justice for
canceled her out.
Roxanne. Let's start our
Yeah,
own GoFundMe.
Roxanne,
Justice.
Roxanne.
Stop. I need to see that live. I need to hear Aaron Tveit singing that so I could just die happily.
I know you really want to go to that. I think that has to be the next show we go to.
Honestly, yeah, I keep looking at tickets. I don't know. Hopefully soon. Before he's
Yeah.
gone, because I really feel like that's it. Like
Yeah,
he's probably done.
I feel like if we don't win lottery, I think we really should just buy some tickets on SeatGeek because I know you really want to go to that one.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, cool. Well, those are good choices. Good job.
Thank you, thank you. I want to hear your picks though.
Okay, so number three, I have Go the Distance because,
Beautiful.
like we said, um, number two, I have Surface Pressure, like we said before. I love that song from Encanto to begin
hmm
with, and now hearing it as a pop punk song, I'm like, this is iconic. Like, I just
Do
love it.
Do you feel connected to that song? Because they always say like if you're the middle sibling, you feel like a connection to Surface Pressure because it's Louisa, right? Like she was the middle sibling
Yeah.
out of the three of them.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm the middle child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. I never even thought about that. Yeah, I do. Because
Evaluating.
you're holding it together. You're kind of always in the middle of two people.
Yeah.
Um, wow. Okay,
Mm.
thanks. That's deep.
You're-
I
This
never
just
really
became a
thought about it.
therapy session.
Yeah. Tyler. Yeah, I'm the middle child. Middle child, being the middle child is interesting. You definitely feel very like tugged sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
especially if your two siblings are fighting. It's like, I'm not getting involved. Okay, and then number one, I put You've Got a Friend in Me solely because I've been a teacher for 4 years now, and every year at the end of the school year, I have the kids sing that at their graduation. So it
Mm-hmm.
holds such a special place in my heart, and now I'm gonna use that version and play it so that they learn from it.
Oh, they're
But
gonna love that.
it's the cutest thing ever. Hearing 4-year-olds just singing You've Got a Friend in Me. It's like it takes forever for them to learn. I become a whole drama teacher, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the cutest result. So yeah, that
Did
song will always have a special place in my heart.
did you play it for them today?
Yeah, I did. I was like, "You guys like the music?" And they were in the middle of like doing work, and they kind of weren't really paying attention, but they'll learn to love it.
They're gonna get there. We're gonna make little emo pop stars.
Yeah, definitely. Could you imagine they just start headbanging? 4-year-olds are like, yeah,
Yeah, the parents are gonna
that.
be like, what are you teaching my child?
Yeah, they'll be like,
We're
what are
still
you
watching Miss
teaching?
Rachel at home.
Yeah, exactly. Coco Melon.
Oh
Like,
God, don't I can't stand Coco Melon. I'm so sorry for any Coco Melon
no,
fans
I
out
don't
there.
play it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I actually had a kid come up to me and say, she's like, I'm not allowed to watch Coco Melon. I was like, good, because we don't watch it here, so it's okay.
Good.
Like,
It's I don't know. I feel like there's some weird juju with Coco Melon.
it's
Like,
creepy. It's definitely
yeah.
creepy. Coco Melon. Like,
Like I feel like they're trying to hypnotize kids. Like it's weird to me. I don't know.
yeah, it's weird. But that's a whole
Uh,
different tangent. Coco Melon.
this is now a podcast about preschool music.
Yeah, what we rate them.
What do we rate the wheels on the bus? Okay, back to Broadway.
Okay, sorry, Broadway.
Moving on to our next topic, we usually like to also discuss some big news going on in the Broadway industry for the week.
Yep.
So one big thing that happened this week was Elsie Fest,
Yes.
which was created by Darren Chris, and it's named after.
You don't want to know what it was named after. We Googled it and we're like, there's no way this is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's named after, you know, the song Cabaret where it goes, I'm going like Elsie. It's named after Elsie in Cabaret, who apparently was
What?
a hooker, which I didn't
Yeah.
realize when we saw the show.
Neither
But
did I, which is pretty bad on our part. I don't know. But yeah.
I yeah, Cabaret we're gonna talk about another day. We're gonna get
Yeah.
really into that. But so yeah, Elsie Fest 2024 was this past week. And I
Which
saw there were
I
some really
feel
cool
like,
performances. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's usually later in the year because I did not realize how quickly it came out. Because I think we should have went. Like we would have had a lot of fun, but I didn't even realize.
Yeah. I don't know why we didn't think about going. Like, you know, I think you're right. Like, isn't it usually in October? Or is that
Right?
just me?
I don't know. It might be me just. I've never gone. I would like to go. Maybe next year
Yeah.
we gotta be more on the ball.
Yeah.
But
I
you,
didn't realize that it's just like a Broadway concert for Broadway nerds.
yeah, that's why I don't understand why we were more on top of it.
Yeah. But there were some really cool performances. Like I saw one of Jordan Fisher and Darren Criss that I actually meant to send you. They did Dear Theodosia from
Yeah, that popped up on
Hamilton.
my TikTok.
Oh, you
Tears.
saw it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. I-
I want to say though, Jordan Fisher, he's a real MVP. You know, he was out all week from Hadestown. with COVID and laryngitis. Yesterday was his
Really?
first time back, and he did that, and then he went to the fest after Hadestown. Like,
Wow.
really, he deserves all the praise. Because if I was in his shoes, I don't know if I would have done both.
I don't know how. I mean, COVID, like, it's exhausting. Like,
Yeah.
destroys your body.
Yeah, and plus, like, Hadestown is not an easy show, like, vocally and physically.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that whole fight scene, too.
Well,
Like,
I really feel like the more like we see Jordan Fisher do things, like he's really become one of my like favorite Broadway performers. Like
right?
I just feel like he's so talented and I just get a really good feeling like he's very down to earth.
Hmm. But he won't stage door anymore
I don't blame him. People are
because of the
crazy.
crazy. Yeah. Because I would love to meet him, but he doesn't stage door, which
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, hopefully one day we'll keep it
Yeah.
in the cards. I would love to meet him one day.
But yeah, if you have
Um,
not seen that video of him explaining why he doesn't stage door, you should all listen to it. Because I think
mhm.
if more people listen to from the actor's point of view, maybe they'll chill out a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think people really think about how scary it is for the performers to come out
Yeah.
and be like mobbed,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Crazy. But yeah, so
Um,
there was a lot of cool performances, which I'm kind of upset we were. I mean, thank God for YouTube, but
yeah, like I saw like Rachel Zegler was there, Joy Woods.
yeah.
Andrew Barth Feldman was also there.
With his girlfriend, Helen, who's
Yeah,
in a
and
very happy
she's
ending.
is it a very is
Oh,
it
why do I
very
keep
ha
saying a maybe happy ending?
maybe happy
Guys,
ending?
dang. I keep saying a very, maybe because that makes more sense in my head. So I've decided that it's stuck that way.
You know what? I think it makes sense in my head too because it makes me feel Christmassy.
Right?
A
That's
very maybe happy
iconic.
ending to you.
That's that's iconic. You're so right though, because that makes sense. But yeah, they sang a song from the Harry Potter musical that Darren Criss was in.
Oh yeah. Oh, maybe that's also why you're thinking of very because isn't it a very Harry
Very
Potter?
pop. Thank you.
Yeah, like
Okay,
Star
it's all
Kid
making
when
sense.
Darren was doing Star Kid shows.
Yep.
Um, so weirdly, that's what they did.
Yeah, I haven't, I started to listen to it, but then I got distracted and had to go back to work. But
Hmm.
it sounded really good. I mean, them two together, I've seen videos of them singing and like, I think they did a part of Your World
Hmm.
and it was beautiful, them, the two of
Oh
them. So
wow.
we definitely gotta listen later.
Yeah, we definitely have to listen. I think next year we gotta try to go. We gotta be more on top of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I feel like I saw it maybe once or twice and I was like, oh, we should go, and then totally forgot.
I didn't realize it was this soon, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But another big theater kid Broadway nerd event coming up is the
Yeah.
Broadway Flea Market in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Um, I saw that there's gonna be some really cool bids for like the online auction and like the silent auction they do in person and stuff like
Mhm.
and the grand auction. Like I saw like you could do the orchestra, like you could be a conductor for Wicked.
Oh
And I
my
saw that
God.
bid though is already up to like $5,000.
Oh my God. What do you think it'll go up to? We should take a guess and then check.
Okay, my guess, $10,792.
That's exact. Um,
I'm a very specific person, Skylar.
yeah. I was gonna say 15,000 straight.
Ooh, you think it's gonna go that high?
I think for Wicked, now there's all the hype around the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could
That's
get that high.
true. I didn't think about that, the movie hype.
Yeah.
What are
I
some
also,
other auctions?
yeah, I also saw that you could win Daniel Radcliffe sneakers that he wore in Merrily.
See, like that's cool, but also do you want the stanky sneakers?
What would you do with it? Could you imagine? Like it has to smell. You're right. I didn't even think about that. It definitely smells bad.
Like, is it a pair that he wore once, or is it a pair he wore for like every single show?
I think it's his costume ones. So maybe he had a few rotating, I would think.
Probably.
But
Still, that's a
could you
little
imagine
nasty.
you have it like displayed and everyone's like, what is that? And you're like, oh, it's Daniel Radcliffe sneakers. Like,
Oh
what?
my God.
They're like, are you okay?
I'm looking on the Broadway Cares website to see what other like silent auctions are up already. Or just like the auctions in general. Like some of these are crazy. Like they have one to see Once Upon a Mattress and meet Sutton Foster and Michael Urie. That's already up to $4,000.
Wow.
I mean, we saw the show for rush seats for like $40.
Yeah. Do they take you backstage though?
They must.
Yeah, they
I
have to. You have to get free merch. Come
Yeah, you gotta get something. Oh, there's another one, Meet the Stars of the Outsiders.
on.
That's going
Okay.
for 1,300, but at the same time, like, I don't know, you could stage door,
Yeah.
but to each their own. Oh, this one's cool. Gypsy opening night tickets and party passes.
Ooh, what is that up to?
$1,300.
Oh, all right. We can't bid on anything. I was like, let's bid on something. No, no, no.
Yeah,
We're
no,
gonna
we'll
lose
buy
hard.
yeah, we buy things from like the $1 bucket.
Yeah, right. Where's the like under $20 bids? Like, I'll do that.
Yeah, like if we cannot afford like any of these things. Like I'm just looking through, is there anything we could afford?
No.
There's like, oh, we could afford this. Bryan Cranston and Cast 9 Network Playbill, $25.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. $25. That's more like it for me.
Did you see that when it was on Broadway?
No, but I heard it
I
was
did.
like I heard it was pretty good. You saw it?
Yeah,
What did you think?
that was interesting. It
Mm-hmm.
was very like it was very cool because the stage was like um almost like a phone, I would say, and it would light up.
Mm-hmm.
Very like techy.
Oh,
Um, how many years ago was that though? A couple of years.
interesting. They're still auctioning off the playbill?
It had to be a while ago because it was before COVID that I saw it.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see, I don't think they came out with it yet. I'm curious to see the map of the Broadway flea market because it used to be like both sides of the street in Schubert Alley,
Yeah, but
but I saw that they like condensed it down to one side and then like traffic was still driving through like in the street.
I would
So
not want to be driving through there.
no, and so I hope it's not like that because I don't know. It seems very uncomfortable, but
You've definitely had more experience with it. I've only been once before. So like
oh, that's
what's your
it.
like yeah, I've only went once when went in college.
Oh yeah, we
Um
were together.
yeah, so what's your best advice if people want to go? Because I can't really give any. You've been more times
You
than
know,
me.
I think it matters. Well, one, I think it matters the setup. Like I would honestly, I would suggest looking at the layout in
Mm,
advance because if it's not going to be double-sided streets, I honestly don't know how much it's worth going. I mean, I think it's still cool, but it gets tight. Like if you get claustrophobic, like it's not for you.
yeah.
Some other tips. There's benefits of going earlier to the flea market because more likely than not you'll see cast members there and they'll like take pictures with you and stuff. Like they usually are at their show's table. But because it's a Sunday, they don't cancel Broadway shows for this. So
Yeah.
like there are still matinees and stuff going on. So like by like 3 p.m., 2 o'clock, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Um, so it's usually better to go earlier if your goal is to try to meet people. Um, just keep in mind that you have to pay if you want to get autographs at like the table that's set up in front of juniors. Like those are not free autographs.
Okay.
And also very often than not, like towards the end of the flea market, a lot of things get reduced in price because they want to just kind of
Oh,
like get rid of it at that
get
point.
rid of it. All right.
So there's benefits to going early because you get like first choice, or you go late and you get discounts.
So really you need to map it out and make sure you know exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, and like in terms of like what the tables are, like most of the time it's like Broadway shows, and they're selling like their merchandise that you could get at the show, or they're signing like they're selling like signed items, like props and
Hmm.
stuff. Like years ago, I bought like a Newsy signed newspaper. Like it was like my
That's
holy
cool.
grail. But
Yeah.
um but there's also like some tables that are just selling like old playbills. So if you're a playbill collector, that's the place to go because you can find some like really old ones. And like they'll sell
That's
like old
cool.
costumes from shows and stuff. Like it's just like interesting to see.
Yeah, to just scroll through. Stroll. Why did I say scroll? That's bad.
It's a Monday, girl. We're struggling over here.
Struggle bus. It's a busy day. But yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, so Broadway Flea Market. I think what is it? The 22nd, right?
22nd. Not this weekend. Oh no, 2 weekends
Well,
from
when this
now.
podcast comes out, it'll be Sunday. It'll be the following weekend.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It starts at like 10 a.m., right?
I think so. I think it goes to like 7. Like it's late.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Um, so I guess we should start getting into our topics of the day.
Yeah. Do you want to quickly just discuss the lotteries we've been entering and losing all week?
Yeah, we haven't been lucky much this week
We have not been
so
lucky.
far.
Yeah, so we've been entering um Mulan, Hadestown, McNeil, O'Mary.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Oh, Lion
What
King and Aladdin.
yeah, and Wicked.
Wicked. Wicked we cannot win
Yeah, like
for the life of us.
if anyone has won Wicked, please let us know how
And let us know where
because
you sit because that's what I'm a little nervous about.
so I actually won Wicked Lottery
Yeah.
pre-COVID. It was actually the show I saw before COVID hit, and they
Yeah.
sat me in the very last row in the entire
See,
theater. So like
mm,
if like it but like we won't know until the day of like where we're gonna be sitting. So it's like, do we
that's
not
what
buy the
scares
tickets if
me.
we win or do we like buy?
Yeah.
Like
Because they're like $64. They're not even that discounted.
no, and like I could tell you, the last row, you see nothing in that theater.
Yeah.
It was like they were like little miniatures.
Yeah, exactly. And I would like to see it close up because I went in like high school and I
Hmm.
sat all the way up there. So
You
I'd like to go
know,
again.
I'm almost thinking it's a show we just try to buy tickets for.
Yeah, we could definitely scope it out during the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been losing a lot.
Yeah, it was interesting. I thought it was gonna be opposite. Like we kept
Yeah,
winning in the summer, but I thought we were gonna lose a lot in the summer because everyone's off of school. People are traveling in like to the city from out of town. I
yeah.
thought now that people are back, like it would calm
I thought
down
it'd
and
be
we would
easier.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
And what was it called? Mulan and Hadestown. I find it weird. Usually Lucky Seat we do well on, but we've been waitlisted
yeah, we
a
haven't
lot.
gotten anything. I'm curious to know if anyone out there has won a lottery after being waitlisted on Lucky Seat
Yeah.
because
'Cause I
we've
almost feel
never
like,
had that.
right? I almost feel like people, everybody get waitlisted, but I don't know. Because I feel like every day I'm waitlisted. How is
Yeah,
that
me too.
possible?
Like, and both of us every day.
Yeah,
There's
I don't
something
know.
strange about that. But um, yeah, hopefully we'll see some of those shows this month. We're trying.
We're trying hard. We don't give up. Every morning we text each other. Enter now. It's up.
9
It's
a.m.
live.
reminders.
Yeah. Like, do
But
it.
yeah, we do that. But also like I feel like we have to keep an eye on SeatGeek. The
Yeah, and I
prices
also
drop.
feel like we've seen most of the shows this season
Yeah.
too. So once a new season comes out, it's kind of exciting that we'll be able to like enter for all the new shows.
Well, you know what? That could be it too, because we actually are not entering as many shows as we entered over the summer because every
Yeah,
time we see a show, we take it off the list that we entered. Like
yeah.
the list you just
Less
named,
chances.
like way less. Yeah.
Probability.
Let's go with that.
There we go. Yeah, so that's kind of our update. We're still trying. We always say don't give up. You never
Yeah.
know, but we've been losing. So don't feel bad if you're losing too.
Yeah. Yeah, join the club. We
Yeah,
can make it like a little Broadway loser club, but it's fine.
losers. It's all right. It's okay.
But one show that we did see this week, which is our big topic for the week, which we did not see via lottery, we saw it via Rush, was
Yes,
Anne Juliet. So
iconic.
welcome to our big Anne Juliet review.
Yeah, number two.
Review number two.
Let's
So,
go.
if you listened to our podcast last week, you heard our review for Water for Elephants. We're doing it in the same formatting. But
Yep.
just to reiterate again, we've created about 8 different categories
Mhm.
that we kind of go through one by one and discuss when talking about the show. And each of us give our rankings out of 10 for what we would rate each category. And then at the end, we will tally it all up and give you our overall average rating for the show out of a 10.
Yeah. Do you remember what we rated Water for Elephants?
Yes, I actually have the ratings in front of me.
Yeah.
So Skylar gave it an average of a 4.75 out of 10,
Yep. Makes
and
sense.
I rated it 4.87 out of 10.
Makes sense. So let's see how
So,
that differs.
oh, it's gonna differ.
It's gonna differ hardcore.
It's gonna differ. But I guess let's first, for those of you who don't know, let's talk about what Anne Juliet is.
Yeah,
So it is a show that actually originated on the West End, and then got
iconic.
transferred to Broadway. If you haven't heard the West End album, listen to it. It is so good.
Definitely.
To be honest, it's my preference over the two cast albums.
Yeah.
Um, but it's so it's a play on Romeo and Juliet, but it involves all of like your favorite 90s and 2000s like pop
Mhm.
songs. So like they'll do a lot of like Backstreet Boys and sing Britney
Brittany.
Spears,
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson, Demi Lovato.
Katy
Um,
Perry. Yeah.
oh yeah, Katy Perry. Um, so it's supposed to be like, what if Juliet did not kill herself after Romeo died? Like, what would have
Yeah.
happened with her life? So it's very like modernized version of Romeo and Juliet, and it's supposed to be kind of like Shakespeare and his wife Anne Hathaway. Yes, Anne Hathaway
Which
are
is so funny.
so funny, and it's a historical fact which I did not realize.
I know. I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, this is real.
I wonder if Anne Hathaway was named after Anne Hathaway, like on purpose.
Now that would be iconic. I doubt
Um,
it.
yeah, probably just coincidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's supposed to be kind of like they're battling it out to like see whose version of the story is like better and like who controls where the story goes. And it's obviously it's like a lot about like feminism and like that
Mhm.
Juliet doesn't need to necessarily rely on a man or being married, and there's a lot of like side stories that go on. And it's just like a really fun night out. Is there anything I left out?
Um, I don't think so. I think because you talked about how Shakespeare kind of has that, he shows the masculinity side
Hmm.
of he gets annoyed when she writes certain things, Anne Hathaway, and you see him come in and try to rewrite it the way he wants it, and them dueling each other. But also, I like the fact that they brought in her history and their relationship that I didn't know about until I saw the musical.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because they were like talking about like them like and their children and like their
Yeah,
marriage and stuff.
yeah, which is, I don't want to like spoil it, I guess,
No, yeah,
but it was very interesting because I had no idea Shakespeare's history. I only knew Shakespeare. I didn't even know he had a wife, which is not
yeah.
right. But
And you know what's interesting is we both like in different ways studied theater in college and we didn't even
yeah,
know that about Shakespeare. So
right?
I feel like that says a lot too. Why were we not told about that?
Yeah, I don't know. English teachers do better.
Do better.
Come
Yeah,
on,
like
people.
yeah, I studied a lot of Shakespeare in like high school too. Like
Yeah, we
we
read
read
Romeo and
Romeo and
Juliet
Juliet.
in ninth grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm about to write a letter. No, I'm kidding.
To your
They're
high
like, who
school
is this?
teacher.
Yeah,
I don't remember
who is
her.
this lady?
Um, so categories that we're gonna rank: costumes, set designs, songs and music, choreography, book, ambiance slash crowd control, which we both have decided makes a difference,
It really does.
casting choices, and then acting slash pacing of the show. Um,
Perfect.
and then also just a little shout out to theater bathrooms and how those make a difference too.
Honestly, it really makes a difference.
Skylar's an expert at this.
I really am because I have to pee every 10 seconds. And I'm still saying Stuffs has the best bathroom.
Yeah, Sus was great, but I like the end Juliet bathroom too.
The stalls were big,
Very big.
spacious. I like
So
that.
they have an attendant in the bathroom in that theater. I think it's a Sondheim, right?
Yeah.
And the attendant tells you which stalls to go into. So Skylar goes first, and then I go, and we both leave. And we whispered to each other. We were like, "Were we in like different handicap bathrooms because the stalls were so big?" So we
Yeah.
looked back, and they weren't. They were just big stalls. And we were like, "Every
Like
theater
it
should be like
here.
this." Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Although
liked
they
it.
did give us boxed water, which was very weird.
Oh
I did
yeah,
not
no.
like that.
Yeah, they said that they used to have Poland Spring for sale, but they charged us $6 for these boxed water bottles that
Yucky.
tasted nasty. They tasted like cardboard.
Literally yucky,
Like
but
I
yeah.
appreciate they want to save the environment, but you also have to save my taste buds.
Like, come on, I'm thirsty, lady.
Yeah, and also it kept spilling on us. It's like they
Oh
didn't
my God, I know.
close.
It was so funny. I was like, what is happening? And I was like, oh my God, it looks like I peed myself.
We
Yeah.
were having an interesting time.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So, oh, and also as I mentioned earlier, we got rush tickets for Anne Juliet.
Yeah.
So you go on to Daytix the morning of at like
9
9 a.m. The
a.m.
rush
Yep.
opens. We got fourth row center orchestra seats for $47 each.
Insane.
Amazing. Best view.
Oh my God, I can't.
Last
It
time we
was so
sat in the
good.
mezzanine, and I did not realize how much we missed a year ago.
We missed so much. Like, so much.
Yeah. Best view. Okay, so let's go through the categories.
Perfecto.
Number one,
Uno.
costumes. You want to go first?
Okay, we were discussing costumes actually a lot during the show. Because
Hmm.
during the pre-show, people were coming out, and I was like, "Ooh, I like that. I like how it's like modern, but you still have the Shakespeare. What is that called?
The collar.
The
I
collar.
don't know the proper name, but the
But
collar,
you,
yeah.
everyone in your head just picture it. But they were wearing like like a crop top and shorts. So
Or like corsets.
yes, I really loved how they incorporated the Shakespearean way, but still modernized it. And it was so tasteful.
Hmm.
And even I loved Shakespeare. He had a necklace with a little quill on it.
Oh
Love that.
yeah, I noticed that too. I loved it.
And Anne Hathaway had a nice little flower tattoo.
Oh yeah, I was trying to figure out, is that a real tattoo like hers,
So
or is that?
Betsy Wolf had the same one. So I was like, oh, they actually put that on.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why they
Yeah.
feel like the character needs a tattoo.
I don't know. I think again to modernize it and kind of show her like her breaking away from
Oh, like she's
that.
the flower.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was thinking.
Oh, I love that.
And
Ah,
I
that's
also loved
cool.
Romeo with the leather jacket. Love it.
That leather jacket is stunning.
Right?
With all the spikes and the bedazzling. It's so smart, the costume designs in this
Right?
show. And even you know what I love? The colors. Like there's nothing that's like a dull color in the show. Everything
Yeah,
is bright. It's very vibrant. It it meshes with the set really well.
you're right. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
And I also loved how everybody's costumes were very unique. But I don't know
Mhm.
if you noticed it, but I noticed that some of the costumes, like obviously the ensemble members, they change costumes throughout the show.
Yeah.
Their costumes, even though they changed, always had like little iconic things that matched throughout the show. So
Wow.
like the woman who's always in a corset is always in a corset, but like changes color, changes designs, or like the
Hmm.
shorts change just slightly. And it's just like it's done so smartly. Like it's so
Yeah.
smart. Um, and I particularly loved May's costume with the lilac. The light lilac is beautiful. And I really
Beautiful.
loved how as May almost kind of loses themselves a little bit and
Hmm.
like the relationship starts crumbling, like the shirt goes untucked and it's like,
Yeah.
where am I right now? Like
Yeah.
I just thought it was beautifully done.
It's so smart because a costume can show what the character is going through. Even Juliet, when she started, she had that traditional dress when she was
Mm-hmm.
crying and singing Stronger, right? Stronger? Is that?
No, Stronger's in the second act.
Babe,
You're thinking of Baby One More Time.
thank you. She had that traditional dress, and then as she went through her adventure with her friends and break away from her family, she was wearing shorter dresses. Um, one that was strapless,
Mm-hmm.
and she was wearing sneakers at the end, which I thought was
Yeah.
cool. Like you could see a character's development through the costume, and they did such a great job.
Yeah, and actually, that costume she wears for war also is almost like a warrior outfit.
Yeah,
Because
it was,
she realizes at the end that I am a warrior and like I'm brave and I'm a strong woman.
yeah, and
It's
that
just
she can
beautiful.
do it.
And even Francois's dad, Lance, in the show, he had,
Yes.
spoiler alert, a very big cup on, like it's supposed to
Yep.
be in front of the costume, like a piece of armor. And I felt
Hmm.
like that was all supposed to show how he has this very negative look on femininity and like he's like masculinity is the most important thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I noticed that also kind of like
It went away
went
by the
away.
end, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't wearing it, and that showed his acceptance of his son at the end.
Hmm.
Wow. So what would you rate it?
Costumes for me, to be honest, are a 10.
10 out of 10. Me too.
10 out of 10. Okay.
Honestly, there was no flaw in the
I don't have a
costumes.
single complaint about
No
costumes.
notes. No notes.
Um, Set design. For me, I thought the sets again are beautiful. I thought it was very interesting how they do the transition from Verona to Paris. Like they just have a little carriage
I was
and
just thinking that too.
yeah, and they're just like biking on a carriage and like Shakespeare actually is the
Oh
bicyclist.
my
It's
God, that
really
was so
funny,
funny.
hilarious part of the show. And by the way, when we saw it this week, Drew Gelling was playing Shakespeare and
So good.
see him. That's all I'm gonna say. See him.
You need to. Yeah.
Um, So yeah, they just bike and then boom, they're in Paris. And it's just like it's done with like projections on the back wall, but all the colors are so vi bright and vibrant and they even have like these little statues that go around the
Yeah, I
carriage
love
in a
that.
circle. Yeah, and they were so cool. And you know what I noticed? Which I didn't realize it the first time we saw it. Those mini houses that you see like come around,
Uh-huh.
they're all shown later on in the show in enlarged versions. Like there was one little house that has like a bunch of balloons on it, and that's in the show
Yeah.
later on, like the full-size version where
Y
like Juliet's singing with Romeo and May is
Wow.
singing with Francois.
Yeah. Wow. That is amazing. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's like little previews as to like what's to come, but it's done so well.
That's amazing. I love the little stage too, especially when they do the boy band and it comes up and rises.
That was great. All the
Right?
smoke comes out on the audience.
Yeah.
Like you felt like you were at a Backstreet Boy concert.
Literally, I think we were acting like we were. We are like, woo!
We were going nuts in the audience.
You have to though. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, like
Um,
I loved that. And
yeah.
then Juliet's bedroom, like beautiful. Even the way they did the bedroom when Lance and the nurse are together, like
Hmm.
I just thought everything was done really well.
It was really thought out. You could see that they put a lot of time on how to relate the set back to the characters, but also back to the story. And it really
Hmm.
helped it. It was a full circle, and that's what I loved about it. There was no like, wait, what? Or like, why are we doing this? It was like, oh, yes.
Hmm. The only
So,
part of the set that I didn't understand was, but now thinking it over, now I think I see it, when um Juliet and Romeo sing one more time and oh no, one more try, sorry. And they
Hmm.
go up in the chair and they're like swinging over the stage, like kind of like flying. Is that
Hmm.
supposed to be like they're on a carousel?
Because I saw her give money,
Yeah,
right?
they have like a ticket.
Yeah, I would think so. Or yeah, I guess a carousel makes more sense. Yeah.
Okay. That's my only thing. Well, what do you rate it?
9.
I agree. I'm giving the same
Yay.
rating. Okay, so moving on to songs and music.
Yes.
Um, to be honest, I don't think there's anything to complain about, in my
No.
opinion, because these are all like extremely well-known songs. Like nothing's really, I think there's only maybe one song. I think One More Try was created for the show, but everything else is like regular, well-known
Oh,
pop
really? I
music.
know. I think it's the song that Betsy Wolf sings. Anne Hathaway.
No, that's Celine Dion.
What?
Yeah.
Shoot.
So it's all music created by oh my God, what's the name? Max Martin.
Yes.
He's a music producer and he wrote all of the music and lyrics for all of these shows. So he did that song, which is Celine Dion's song. He did
Okay.
Everybody by Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way. He did all the NSYNC stuff, like he did a lot of the Britney
Okay.
stuff. So yeah, it's actually all just supposed to be his music that he wrote.
Okay. I think they did a great job of fitting it in the story. Like it was so funny how they would say something and they would fit perfectly with the song.
Yeah, it
Like it
was
was
done
so
so
great.
well. Like in the beginning when Anne and Shakespeare are fighting
Yeah.
and she's like, "Why can't you change the script?" And he's like, "Because I want it
Yeah.
that way." It's
It's
just like
so
so
great.
smart.
Yeah. So great. So I
And
think we could
yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say I think we could just write it unless you have other.
Well, no, I was just gonna say like they also did that with Since You've Been Gone, like in the second act, because like she's saying to
Yes.
Romeo, "So like since you died, here's what happened."
That was so funny. His face
Hilarious.
too. He was like
He was
going
stunned.
through it. Wait, how about when oh, this is a spoiler. But during since you've been gone, he goes to the front where like the casket was and he
Hmm.
gets lowered down. He's like, "Oh my God, where am I going?" Dude, that
Yeah.
was so funny. And then
It's
he just
so
goes, "Since you've
good.
been gone." Yeah, that
I
was
give
so
it a
good.
10.
Yeah, me too.
10 out of 10.
I got no notes. I
No
comment.
notes. Max Martin, you're a genius.
Really great.
Choreography. Beautiful choreography.
I
The
don't know
hip
how they
hop,
remember it all.
I don't know how to do that for any shows. So the choreography was done by Jennifer Weber.
Mhm.
And I love how it's like a combo of like hip hop, but also like classic
Yeah.
Renaissance-y feeling dance.
Yeah, you're right. It was great. And I love how in Roar they're all going like where they make like a cross and then like go down and then
Yeah,
just go into it and into it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like the like a tiger's claws or lion's
Yeah.
claws. It's
Yeah,
just like it's so good.
I have no
I
notes.
have no comp. I have no notes. Yeah.
I liked how the pre-show they had that one girl go into like a whole break like solo and she was breaking it down.
Yeah. And I really like that too because I feel like that like they did it to set the tone for the show. Like let
Yeah.
everybody know this is not your typical Romeo and Juliet. Like we're gonna have
Yeah.
some fun tonight. And the choreography also for I can't feel my face when I'm that
Yeah.
segment, the dance break, sick.
I think I was going, "Woo!"
Yeah, you were screaming.
Yeah.
And
I
even
could not control myself. Literally.
it was literally
Yeah.
and even like they even had the older cast members dancing like in Teenage Dream, Break Free, like they
Yeah.
were jamming. And I was like, I that's the role I want to play. I want to play the nurse. Like I don't need to be anyone else. Give me the nurse role.
Yeah. She killed it.
Killed it. I have no other notes. I wish
10.
we had things to complain about, but we don't. 10.
Not this week, 10.
Um,
Perfection.
the book. Thoughts on the book?
I mean, again, I feel like there was a moment where I was like, oh, this does not make sense. Like, what are we talking about? Even May's story, like, that was amazingly done in like a tasteful manner.
Yeah, like I feel like almost every show nowadays talks about those kind of topics. It's very political, it's very modernized, and I feel like
Hmm.
some shows kind of could push it too far, but they don't
Did
throw it in
not.
your face. Like it's done in a very tasteful way where
Yeah,
I feel like no matter where you stand on that politically, you can respect the show and what they're doing with the
yeah.
piece.
No, it was great. And I love how they put some modern words. So Romeo, Shakespeare goes, Romeo, you're back from the dead. And he goes, I know, it's totally dope. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
spoiler alert.
hysterical. Yeah, if you listen to the
It's in the
It's
album.
My Life, it's in it, but that was funny to me. I like it's totally dope. Like
Well, but also
that
said
killed
his
me.
character, to be honest, being just like this stupid guy.
Yeah, no, it
Like
was great.
it's
Great.
it's
I don't
yeah.
know.
And also I loved how they kept incorporating like some of Shakespeare's famous quotes throughout the show as well.
Yes.
And like they even kept like making jokes about it, like I created that. Yeah, I created that too.
Wait, during the boy band, he said something and he goes, "You made that up?" Because
Yeah.
Shakespeare made it up. So funny.
They
And even
really
like Francois's name,
yeah.
the
Francois
boy.
Dubois,
Yeah.
Francois Dubois, Frankie
Yeah.
Dubois.
Yeah. So
Oh my
funny.
God. And there's also a line, spoiler alert, but you see Francois playing the virginal,
Yes.
and Juliet goes, like, he goes, do you play the virginal? And she's like, I don't think it should really count if you only do it one time.
That was funny. That was funny.
I lost it. They actually were losing it on stage. Like, you could see they were breaking a
Yes.
little bit. The
Yes. Because
audience
how
was
do you
going
not?
nuts.
Yeah, the audience. That really made it a fun atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to our next category. But first, wait, what do you rate book?
9.
9?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do the same. I think
Yeah.
that's fair. I think
The
we're gonna
same
have
too.
similar ratings this time.
Yeah.
So you started talking about the audience, so go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I felt like the audience were so into it and it made it so much fun. Like they were laughing hysterically.
Mhm.
And like especially when the band, what are they called? The boys. I don't know.
The boy band?
Yeah, what is their boy band name?
They were called the boy band.
The
But
boy
it's
band.
the boy band, like the boy,
Yeah.
like the last name Du Bois.
People were losing it and getting into it, and you saw the actors on the stage like act harder. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were
And
into
they were
it.
also interacting with the audience a lot
Yeah.
during the show. Like they were talking to audience members and like
Yeah.
making jokes. Like even Drew Gelling at one point made a joke with you. Like you guys made eye contact and you were like, no, 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 don't do it.
Yeah, because he was about to do something. I think he was gonna write something, and he said it. And I was like, no, 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 no. And I was like, don't. And we made eye contact. He's like, what the heck? It was really funny.
It was so funny. But the audience, like it really makes a difference who is sitting
Yeah.
around you. No one was filming.
Nope.
No one even had like a phone out trying to record audio. Nobody was even
Nope.
checking their phones.
Everybody
And
was so invested.
well, exactly. Like you feel like you are in the moment. Like I'm sorry, when someone next to me pulls out their phone, it breaks my attention from the
Yeah.
show.
Yep.
And it was just a really good group of people. Like it was friendly people, like they were talking to us and stuff. And like,
Yeah.
um, it was just like there was like, for example, there was a woman behind us. She was losing it the whole show.
Oh
Like
my God, that
her
was
laugh
so funny.
alone made the show.
Yeah. I couldn't
Like she
agree
was like,
more. It was so funny.
it was so good.
Yeah, I really felt like, and the show felt like it was 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it went by so fast, and like it was
I
almost
was like,
disappointing
dang,
that it
we
went
can,
by so fast.
yeah.
Like I don't
Because
know
we're
about you, I'm ready to
so,
go again.
me too. I
Let's
was
do
so
it.
invested in it.
Hmm
It was
So
amazing.
ambiance, crowd control, I would give it a 9.
I was gonna say the same.
Okay.
It was definitely great. Like it was such a fun night out.
My
Like I
the
feel
reason,
like,
yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
oh no,
The
you
only
go.
reason I'm giving it a 9 and not a 10 is because the one thing that we both noticed and we said to each other is like, where were the ushers? We didn't see them the whole show.
I had no idea who they were. Yeah, you're right.
Hmm. No,
Hmm.
sorry, go. What were you saying?
Oh, I felt like because like all throughout the show, I was like banging my head a little bit. I was like dancing a little bit, and I didn't feel like judged. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the whole audience was doing the same, and I like that.
Yeah, like I felt like I could kind of be a wild animal without anyone caring.
And we got the you said a wild animal without anybody caring. I'm dead. Just process that.
I was going a little nuts during the show. Okay, I felt like I was like living back my childhood. Like I was
One
into
Direction's on the
it.
stage.
During the boy band number, like don't get me started.
Yo, I think I was going, woo! I
We
was
were we
going
were
off.
screaming the whole show.
Yeah. And we got
Um,
blasted by confetti.
oh my God, multiple times.
Like, I think it's only in the orchestra. I don't think it's in the mezzanine.
Yeah, I don't remember that the first time we saw it, but
We
we
got
were
blasted.
covered. I we got blasted with it, and Skylar and I are picking it off each other, and I had
Yeah.
like a whole bowl full in my hands. I was like handing it to her, like, "Here, you want this?"
Yeah, like, what are we? That was
What are we
funny.
gonna do with this? Um, Casting choices. Now, I think casting choices make a difference because
100%.
I don't I, I don't want to talk badly about any actors because every actor is great in their own way.
Yeah.
But the first time we saw the show, we saw most of the original cast. This time around, the only original cast member we saw was Romeo, and I think maybe
Yeah.
Lance. And it made a difference. Like, I am so sorry, but it just made a
I
difference
agree.
overall. Like, to understand the story, to appreciate the jokes,
Yeah,
and even voices made a difference. Like, of
I
like who can
agree.
support the songs better.
Hmm. I love Betsy Wolf, but I loved her understudy. She
Her
was
understudy,
great.
she was incredible. And like she like took certain jokes and just went the extra mile with it and it
Yeah.
just was so much funnier. Like,
Her comedic timing was like impeccable.
mm-hmm.
And so is Drew. Like him as
Yeah.
Shakespeare was the funniest thing. I never laughed that hard when Stark Stands did it. And
I
I
don't
love
think I
him.
laughed one I don't think I laughed once with him.
Yeah, his comedic his when he was on that carriage and going
Mm-hmm.
fast, like when he was biking it,
Mm-hmm. His
I was like,
faces were so funny.
we were dying. I was like, oh my God, look at his face. He was like going hardcore.
And also in all honesty, the nurse and the one
Yeah.
we saw was the original nurse also from the West End and on
Hmm.
Broadway. I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but to be like, and I don't want this to come off wrong, but she had a very heavy accent.
Yes.
And I didn't realize how many lines of the nurses
Yeah.
I missed because of the accent. Like the current nurse doesn't have an accent, and you
Yeah.
hear every word so distinctly that it made me appreciate
Yeah.
the nurses and Juliet's relationship more because you could tell how much she really cherishes this girl like it's her own
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah, definitely. I agree 100%. You said that perfectly. We
Thank you.
definitely missed that the first time.
I missed all of that. And like, um, we also saw May's understudy as well.
Yeah.
And I think both Mays were great, but
Hmm.
I think the understudy also, again, just made certain acting choices that just brought it to another level.
Yeah.
And oh, and also I was wrong. So I said before we saw Lance and Romeo, but we also saw Francois. We saw the original Francois. What is his name? Philippe Arroyo or Felipe
Yeah.
Arroyo? Apologies if I pronounce it wrong. We did not see him the first time. We saw his
No.
understudy the first time. And in this case,
Huge
I think it's
difference.
switched. I think seeing the original had a huge significance.
Yeah. Yeah, I was laughing hysterically at
Yeah,
that
he
scene
just
with him and Juliet.
yeah, like he just made like such smart acting choices and they were like little just like character traits that like just defined
Yeah.
who this character is as a person.
Yeah, it was amazing. We missed a lot when we were in the mezzanine,
Yeah.
and that first show and the casting. This time I felt like I was seeing a whole new show.
Yeah. So I'm like I don't know, I'm a little back and forth with what to rate casting choices because do we rate it based on the choices that we saw in this cast, or do we rate it in the fact that we did see the show twice and we were not happy with the casting the first time around?
I was gonna rate it overall at like a 7,
Okay.
based on both. And I love the Juliet we saw this time. Her voice was
Yeah, Maya,
amazing.
gorgeous.
Amazing.
Um, if we're going overall, I think I'm gonna go with like a 6.
Okay, that's fair.
Just because I was very disappointed with the casting the first time, which like you don't want to be disappointed with the original cast for the most
Yeah,
part, but I really didn't realize how much we missed of the show. And like, I don't want to sound horrible, but I kept thinking to myself during the show, I wish this was the cast on the original Broadway cast album.
me too. I was thinking the same thing.
Like
You're
I feel
right.
bad saying that, but it's true.
No, but it's our opinion, and it's not saying that they're not bad actors, they're not bad singers, it's just our personal preference.
Yeah. And then our last category that brings us is to acting and pacing, which I mean, I feel like we kind of covered it already for the most
Yeah,
part. It's just this cast made certain acting choices that were so brilliant. It was
exactly.
just
And they
so
did
well
a
done.
deep character study, I feel like. They
Mm-hmm.
really, because I felt like every character had their own traits, they had their own way of doing things. They weren't all the same. And it was
Yeah,
really cool to see.
and they made the characters their own. Like I did not feel like
Yeah,
Drew Gelling was doing Stark Sand's version of
no,
Shakespeare. He was doing his own version.
his own
The understudy of Betsy
interpretation.
Wolfe was doing her own interpretation of
Yeah,
Anne,
it
and
was amazing.
brilliant, brilliant.
So when
So
we're saying this, are we doing it overall too?
should we?
Hmm, probably because
Mm,
we did it for the last one, right?
yeah, I guess we should.
Hmm.
I think for this one, I'll give it an 8.
I was gonna say 7.
Okay. So our
Perfect.
scores are going to differ a little bit, although with the sevens and 7 and 6 and 8, we may balance out a little bit.
Okay, that's good at least. It makes
Um,
sense. One thing we want to say though, I think while Michelle is calculating, doing the math, we've realized that And Juliet is an orchestra show. You If you can rush the tickets, try to keep refreshing and get orchestra seats because we really missed a lot from the mezzanine. Especially during the pre-show too, the actors interact with the audience members, which is really cool. But also throughout the show, the actors interact with you. And it was really interesting to see. And you could kind of hear the actors, side libs with each other too, which again helped us understand the story. So if you can, just keep trying to get orchestra seats because really we found this time around that it was an orchestra show.
um,
Yeah.
yes, so Skylar is 100% right. I would not recommend seeing the mezzanine. It's also a little
Yeah.
further back in the theater. There's not a huge overhang, and I think that
Yeah.
makes a difference too.
Definitely.
Yeah, and also, don't sit in the first row. Try to get like
Yes,
fourth or
good
fifth
point.
row. The first row, like you'll be looking up.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the final totals.
Da-na-na-na.
We actually have the same rating because yours double sevens and mine 6
Okay.
and 8 equaled out.
Perfect.
So the average rating we've both given for the show is an 8.87 out of 10.
That makes sense.
I
Our
think that's a
highest
very
ranking
fair
one
rating
so far.
so far. We only have two so far.
Yeah, no, we highly recommend you go. Go see and Juliet if you can before Drew is out. I think he has like another month or something.
Oh, he's in it for a limited run?
Hold on. Or are we think I might be thinking of somebody else. Don't listen
I
to
do
me.
know other cast members are about to leave, like Francois is about to leave.
That's probably
I
what.
think May was supposed to leave, but the actor that normally plays May, Jason, I think it's Jason David Sullivan, if I'm
Hmm.
remembering the name correctly. Let me make sure I get it right. Yeah, I'm sorry, Justin David Sullivan. They were hurt performing the show a couple months ago. So
Yes.
they're currently not in it. So, but I know they were supposed to leave the same time as Francois. So I don't know if that's still the case or if that's going to change now because they've been out.
So I got it confused. He's not
Mm.
in a limited run. So sorry.
So it's the other
I was thinking of the
characters.
other guy. Yeah. But definitely go
Uh,
see him.
yeah, definitely go see it. And based on what we rated Water for Elephants last week, if you're choosing between Water for Elephants and Anne Juliet, you go to Anne
And
Juliet.
Juliet. It was so much fun. Like we went on a Friday night. It was so much fun.
Perfect start to the weekend. Since then, like I just felt like we had such a good weekend afterwards. Like I just felt so
Right?
positive and happy like the last couple days.
It was great. So we highly recommend.
Highly recommend. So I think that is it for this episode of Love Letters to
Yeah.
Broadway. Once again, you can find us on social media at
Yep.
TikTok at Love Letters to Way and on Instagram at Love Letters to Way with two Y's because one Y wasn't
Wasn't
available. We say it every week.
it?
And also for any business inquiries, you can email us at loveletterstobroadway@gmail.com.
Especially Broadway people. Thank you.
Yeah, if anyone's out there and you want to like have a little chat with us, let us know.
I mean,
Um,
we're always open.
Always open to collaborations, maybe an
Definitely.
interview or two. We do have a couple things in the works, guys, so make sure you stay
Get
tuned.
excited.
So I think that's it.
Cool. Let's attempt to do this. Wait, do you think we can do
Okay.
it?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're
Signing
signing
off.
off
No, we
on
messed
our.
up already.
Oh,
3, 2, 1.
we're
We mess this up every week.
okay. We're
Okay. We're
signing off on our sixth love letter to Broadway.
we'll just let Skylar do it this week.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. See you next week.